You still texting?
Busy. Where we at?
County morgue?
Not on my schedule.
You scheduled it when you T-boned that minivan and sent 2 people to the hospital. Guess you was paying more attention to that thing than the road.
Making sure my wife picks up my suit.
Sounds like a text message that just couldn't wait.
Texting and driving. A killer combination.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything. Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
In recreation and parks, the days begin when the sun rises. Most of our workspaces don't have 4 walls or a desk, but there's a lot to be done to get this place up and running. It takes a big team to cover so much ground. Each space is unique, requiring its own special method of care and service. And it's of utmost importance to see that it happens each day, because our workspace is your leisure space. And it includes 950 acres of Santa Rosa. It's the parks, the trees, the fields, the trails, special gathering places, community spaces, and it belongs to everyone.
We work for our community.
Striving to improve quality of life.
We provide family experiences, friendly competitions, leisurely evenings,
And places to bond with man's best friend.
We create space for celebration, relaxation, and artistic expression.
You can learn to serve a ball or learn to serve a meal.
Take a walk on a path or walk the plank.
We've got beautiful settings, space to show off our history.
We have room to roam, to roll, or to run.
We allow for the silly, the serious, the cool.
We offer countless ways to work on your health.
We keep our youth safe and teach them to keep others safe.
We challenge people to want to challenge themselves.
We foster creativity, guide athletes, hone passions.
We allow for little minds to dream.
And we'll keep doing what we do each day.
Because we know that for our community,
arts make life better.
You still texting?
I gotta let daycare know that I'm running late. They charge if you're late. And I'm not usually one of those people to text and drive, and I was almost done with my text when that car came out of nowhere.
You still veered in oncoming traffic. And that text message, it never got through.
One text or call could wreck it all.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
You still texting?
Is this a real morgue?
Yep.
Shut up. Like with real dead people. Ooh, I gotta text Ashley.
Ashley identified you when you wrapped your car around that light pole, because you was caring more about that thing than the road.
I knew she liked me.
Not anymore.
No text message is worth a life.
Over 90 miles of creeks run through Santa Rosa. Runoff from streets, roofs, and parking lots end up in our creeks through the storm drain system. To help protect creeks, keep your street gutters and roadside ditches clear of trash and other pollutants. For more information on the benefits of our creeks and tips on how to enjoy them, visit the Stormwater and Creeks webpage.
You still texting?
Busy. Where we at?
County morgue?
Not on my schedule.
You scheduled it when you T-boned that minivan and sent 2 people to the hospital. Guess you was paying more attention to that thing than the road.
Making sure my wife picks up my suit.
Sounds like a text message that just couldn't wait.
Texting and driving. A killer combination.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything. Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
In recreation and parks, the days begin when the sun rises. Most of our workspaces don't have 4 walls or a desk, but there's a lot to be done to get this place up and running. It takes a big team to cover so much ground. Each space is unique, requiring its own special method of care and service. And it's of utmost importance to see that it happens each day, because our workspace is your leisure space. And it includes 950 acres of Santa Rosa. It's the parks, the trees, the fields, the trails, special gathering places, community spaces, and it belongs to everyone.
We work for our community.
Striving to improve quality of life.
We provide family experiences, friendly competitions, leisurely evenings,
and places to bond with man's best friend.
We create space for celebration, relaxation, and artistic expression.
You can learn to serve a ball or learn to serve a meal.
Take a walk on a path or walk the plank.
We've got beautiful settings, space to show off our history.
We have room to roam, to roll, or to run.
We allow for the silly, the serious, the cool.
We offer countless ways to work on your health.
We keep our youth safe and teach them to keep others safe.
We challenge people to want to challenge themselves.
We foster creativity, guide athletes, hone passions.
We allow for little minds to dream.
And we'll keep doing what we do each day.
Because we know that for our community,
Parks make life better.
You still texting?
I gotta let daycare know that I'm running late. They charge if you're late. And I'm not usually one of those people to text and drive, and I was almost done with my text when that car came out of nowhere.
You still veered in oncoming traffic. And that text message, it never got through.
One text or call could wreck it all.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
You still texting?
Is this a real morgue?
Yep.
Shut up. Like with real dead people. Ooh, I gotta text Ashley.
Ashley identified you when you wrapped your car around that light pole because you was caring more about that thing than the road.
I knew she liked me.
Not anymore.
No text message is worth a life.
Over 90 miles of creeks run through Santa Rosa. Runoff from streets, roofs, and parking lots end up in our creeks through the storm drain system. To help protect creeks, keep your street gutters and roadside ditches clear of trash and other pollutants. For more information on the benefits of our creeks and tips on how to enjoy them, visit the Stormwater and Creeks webpage.
You still texting?
Busy. Where we at?
County morgue?
Not on my schedule.
You scheduled it when you T-boned that minivan and sent 2 people to the hospital. Guess you was paying more attention to that thing than the road.
Making sure my wife picks up my suit.
Sounds like a text message that just couldn't wait.
Texting and driving. A killer combination.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything. Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
In recreation and parks, the days begin when the sun rises. Most of our workspaces don't have 4 walls or a desk, but there's a lot to be done to get this place up and running. It takes a big team to cover so much ground. Each space is unique, requiring its own special method of care and service. And it's of utmost importance to see that it happens each day, because our workspace is your leisure space. And it includes 950 acres of Santa Rosa. It's the parks, the trees, the fields, the trails, special gathering places, community spaces, and it belongs to everyone.
We work for our community.
Striving to improve quality of life.
We provide family experiences, friendly competitions, leisurely evenings,
and places to bond with man's best friend.
We create space for celebration, relaxation, and artistic expression.
You can learn to serve a ball or learn to serve a meal.
Take a walk on a path or walk the plank.
We've got beautiful settings, space to show off our history.
We have room to roam, to roll, or to run.
We allow for the silly, the serious, the cool.
We offer countless ways to work on your health.
We keep our youth safe and teach them to keep others safe.
We challenge people to want to challenge themselves.
We foster creativity, guide athletes, hone passions.
We allow for little minds to dream.
And we'll keep doing what we do each day.
Because we know that for our community,
Parks make life better.
You still texting?
I gotta let daycare know that I'm running late. They charge if you're late. And I'm not usually one of those people to text and drive, and I was almost done with my text when that car came out of nowhere.
You still veered in oncoming traffic. And that text message, it never got through.
One text or call could wreck it all.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
You still texting?
Is this a real morgue?
Yep.
Shut up. Like with real dead people. Ooh, I gotta text Ashley.
Ashley identified you when you wrapped your car around that light pole, because you was caring more about that thing than the road.
I knew she liked me.
Not anymore.
No text message is worth a life.
Over 90 miles of creeks run through Santa Rosa. Runoff from streets, roofs, and parking lots end up in our creeks through the storm drain system. To help protect creeks, keep your street gutters and roadside ditches clear of trash and other pollutants. For more information on the benefits of our creeks and tips on how to enjoy them, visit the Stormwater and Creeks webpage.
You still texting?
Busy. Where we at?
County morgue?
Not on my schedule.
You scheduled it when you T-boned that minivan and sent 2 people to the hospital. Guess you was paying more attention to that thing than the road.
Making sure my wife picks up my suit.
Sounds like a text message that just couldn't wait.
Texting and driving. A killer combination.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything. Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
In recreation and parks, the days begin when the sun rises. Most of our workspaces don't have 4 walls or a desk, but there's a lot to be done to get this place up and running. It takes a big team to cover so much ground. Each space is unique, requiring its own special method of care and service. And it's of utmost importance to see that it happens each day, because our workspace is your leisure space. And it includes 950 acres of Santa Rosa. It's the parks, the trees, the fields, the trails, special gathering places, community spaces, and it belongs to everyone.
We work for our community.
Striving to improve quality of life.
We provide family experiences, friendly competitions, leisurely evenings,
and places to bond with man's best friend.
We create space for celebration, relaxation, and artistic expression.
You can learn to serve a ball or learn to serve a meal.
Take a walk on a path or walk the plank.
We've got beautiful settings, space to show off our history.
We have room to roam, to roll, or to run.
We allow for the silly, the serious, the cool.
We offer countless ways to work on your health.
We keep our youth safe and teach them to keep others safe.
We challenge people to want to challenge themselves.
We foster creativity, guide athletes, hone passions.
We allow for little minds to dream.
And we'll keep doing what we do each day.
Because we know that for our community,
Parks make life better.
You still texting?
I gotta let daycare know that I'm running late. They charge if you're late. And I'm not usually one of those people to text and drive, and I was almost done with my text when that car came out of nowhere.
You still veered in oncoming traffic. And that text message, it never got through.
One text or call could wreck it all.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
You still texting?
Is this a real morgue?
Yep.
Shut up. Like with real dead people. Ooh, I gotta text Ashley.
Ashley identified you when you wrapped your car around that light pole because you was caring more about that thing than the road.
I knew she liked me.
Not anymore.
No text message is worth a life.
Over 90 miles of creeks run through Santa Rosa. Runoff from streets, roofs, and parking lots end up in our creeks through the storm drain system. To help protect creeks, keep your street gutters and roadside ditches clear of trash and other pollutants. For more information on the benefits of our creeks and tips on how to enjoy them, visit the Stormwater and Creeks webpage.
still texting?
Busy. Where we at?
County morgue?
Not on my schedule.
You scheduled it when you T-boned that minivan and sent 2 people to the hospital. Guess you was paying more attention to that thing than the road.
Making sure my wife picks up my suit.
Sounds like a text message that just couldn't wait.
Texting and driving. A killer combination.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything. Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
In recreation and parks, the days begin when the sun rises. Most of our workspaces don't have 4 walls or a desk, but there's a lot to be done to get this place up and running. It takes a big team to cover so much ground. Each space is unique, requiring its own special method of care and service. And it's of utmost importance to see that it happens each day, because our workspace is your leisure space. And it includes 950 acres of Santa Rosa. It's the parks, the trees, the fields, the trails, special gathering places, community spaces, and it belongs to everyone.
We work for our community,
striving to improve quality of life.
We provide family experiences, friendly competitions, leisurely evenings,
and places to bond with man's best friend.
We create space for celebration, relaxation, and artistic expression.
You can learn to serve a ball or learn to serve a meal.
Take a walk on a path or walk the plank.
We've got beautiful settings, space to show off our history.
We have room to roam, to roll, or to run.
We allow for the silly, the serious, the cool.
We offer countless ways to work on your health.
We keep our youth safe and teach them to keep others safe.
We challenge people to want to challenge themselves.
We foster creativity, guide athletes, hone passions.
We allow for little minds to dream.
And we'll keep doing what we do each day.
Because we know that for our community,
Parks make life better.
You still texting?
I gotta let daycare know that I'm running late. They charge if you're late. And I'm not usually one of those people to text and drive, and I was almost done with my text when that car came out of nowhere.
You still veered in oncoming traffic. And that text message, it never got through.
One text or call could wreck it all.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
You still texting?
Is this a real morgue?
Yep.
Shut up. Like with real dead people. Ooh, I gotta text Ashley.
Ashley identified you when you wrapped your car around that light pole because you was caring more about that thing than the road.
I knew she liked me.
Not anymore.
No text message is worth a life.
Over 90 miles of creeks run through Santa Rosa. Runoff from streets, roofs, and parking lots end up in our creeks through the storm drain system. To help protect creeks, keep your street gutters and roadside ditches clear of trash and other pollutants. For more information on the benefits of our creeks and tips on how to enjoy them, visit the Stormwater and Creeks webpage.
You still texting?
Busy. Where we at?
County morgue?
Not on my schedule.
You scheduled it when you T-boned that minivan and sent 2 people to the hospital. Guess you was paying more attention to that thing than the road.
Making sure my wife picks up my suit.
Sounds like a text message that just couldn't wait.
Texting and driving. A killer combination.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything. Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
In recreation and parks, the days begin when the sun rises. Most of our workspaces don't have 4 walls or a desk, but there's a lot to be done to get this place up and running. It takes a big team to cover so much ground. Each space is unique, requiring its own special method of care and service. And it's of utmost importance to see that it happens each day, because our workspace is your leisure space. And it includes 950 acres of Santa Rosa. It's the parks, the trees, the fields, the trails, special gathering places, community spaces, and it belongs to everyone.
We work for our community,
striving to improve quality of life.
We provide family experiences, friendly competitions, leisurely evenings,
and places to bond with man's best friend.
We create space for celebration, relaxation, and artistic expression.
You can learn to serve a ball or learn to serve a meal.
Take a walk on a path or walk the plank.
We've got beautiful settings, space to show off our history.
We have room to roam, to roll, or to run.
We allow for the silly, the serious, the cool.
We offer countless ways to work on your health.
We keep our youth safe and teach them to keep others safe.
We challenge people to want to challenge themselves.
We foster creativity, guide athletes, hone passions.
We allow for little minds to dream.
And we'll keep doing what we do each day.
Because we know that for our community,
Parks make life better.
You still texting?
I gotta let daycare know that I'm running late. They charge if you're late. And I'm not usually one of those people to text and drive, and I was almost done with my text when that car came out of nowhere.
You still veered in oncoming traffic. And that text message, it never got through.
One text or call could wreck it all.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
You still texting?
Is this a real morgue?
Yep.
Shut up. Like with real dead people. Ooh, I gotta text Ashley.
Ashley identified you when you wrapped your car around that light pole because you was caring more about that thing than the road.
I knew she liked me.
Not anymore.
No text message is worth a life.
Over 90 miles of creeks run through Santa Rosa. Runoff from streets, roofs, and parking lots end up in our creeks through the storm drain system. To help protect creeks, keep your street gutters and roadside ditches clear of trash and other pollutants. For more information on the benefits of our creeks and tips on how to enjoy them, visit the Stormwater and Creeks webpage.
still texting?
Busy. Where we at?
County morgue?
Not on my schedule.
You scheduled it when you T-boned that minivan and sent 2 people to the hospital. Guess you was paying more attention to that thing than the road.
Making sure my wife picks up my suit.
Sounds like a text message that just couldn't wait.
Texting and driving. A killer combination.
Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything. Santa Rosa, out there in the middle of everything.
In recreation and parks, the days begin when the sun rises. Most of our workspaces don't have 4 walls or a desk, but there's a lot to be done to get this place up and running. It takes a big team to cover so much ground. Each space is unique, requiring its own special method of care and service. And it's of utmost importance to see that it happens each day, because our workspace is your leisure space. And it includes 950 acres of Santa Rosa. It's the parks, the trees, the fields, the trails, special gathering places, community spaces, and it belongs to everyone.
We work for our community.
Striving to improve quality of life.
We provide family experiences, friendly competitions, leisurely evenings,
and places to bond with man's best friend.
We create space for celebration, relaxation, and artistic expression.
You can learn to serve a ball or learn to serve a meal.
Take a walk on a path or walk the plank.
We've got beautiful settings, space to show off our history.
We have room to roam, to roll, or to run.
We allow for the silly, the serious, the cool.
We offer countless ways to work on your health.
We keep our youth safe and teach them to keep others safe.
We challenge people to want to challenge themselves.
We foster creativity, guide athletes, hone passions.
We allow for little minds to dream.
And we'll keep doing what we do each day.
Because we know that for our community,
Parks make life better.
You still texting?
I gotta let daycare know that I'm running late. They charge if you're late. And I'm not usually one of those people to text and drive, and I was almost done with my text when that car came out of nowhere.
You still veered in oncoming traffic. And that text message, it never got through.
One text or call could wreck it all.
Good afternoon. Apologize for the late hour. Mr. McGlynn, could you introduce our study session, please?
Yes, item 3.1, H2O, Help to Others Water Rate Assistance Program. Linda Reed, Deputy Director, Water Administration, presenting.
Great, thank you. Mayor Sawyer, members of the council, it's great to be here to talk about the H2O, Help to Others, our water rate assistance program. It's been a long time coming. Santa Rosa Water's mission is protecting public health by sustaining water resources, infrastructure, and the environment. Pushing the wrong thing there. We know water is essential to life. Water sure falls from the sky, but from there to the faucet to disappearing down the drain where you don't think about it again takes a lot of work. In order to deliver these services, we need to invest in quality control, monitoring, infrastructure replacement, a robust capital improvement program, a solid asset management program. We practice emergency preparedness, make sure our pipes are looped for redundancy. We're always looking for emergency groundwater exploration. And we're one of the few utilities in the nation to approach zero discharge and 100% beneficial reuse. And while we're continuously examining our operation to provide the best value and to do this in the most fiscally responsible manner, we realize that it's expensive. And so water needs to be affordable. And so we ask, what is affordable? And our water is considered affordable by federal guidelines. If we look at a Santa Rosa water and sewer bill of $150, which is a little bit above average, the vast majority of our customers would find that affordable by federal guidelines if they're at over median income, at median income, and even many of those who fall below median income. But for our extremely low income customers, we know that a typical water bill can be a struggle. And so we've been working on identifying and coming up with a water assistance program, and we are going to touch on each of these bullets in the remaining slides. So how much can we help? In order to provide assistance, we need resources, and we can't use rate revenue. But I do want to tell you that Santa Rosa is participating on a committee at the Association of California Water Agencies, and they're working with a consortium with CSAC and the League of California Cities to try to prepare an amendment to Article 10 of the California Constitution that would allow us to use rate revenue, amongst other things, for low-income assistance. But in the meantime, we do have revenue from cell tower leases that are on city property, and we can use that revenue. Other cities do that. And we are creating a donation program as well. The brochures are out there. Recreation and Parks is developing the website, and that is online for the Santa Rosa Cares program right now. So we are set up to take donations. And who do we target for help? Because we have this limited pool of assistance right now, we are going to target our extremely low-income customers. We're going to be using the City of Santa Rosa's Section 8 guidelines for that. This is a pilot program, so we'll look and see how many people apply, whether that uses all of the funds we have available, and we'll be coming back in a year to let you know whether that worked or not. And what level of assistance do we provide? Assistance has to be actually meaningful. I mean, we don't want to just offer a small amount, but we also want to encourage conservation. So what we are going to start with is paying 1/2 of the fixed charges for each bill. So that would be a little over $5 a month on the water side and a little over $11 a month on the wastewater side. So for customers that have both water and wastewater through the City of Santa Rosa, a little over $200 a year. The slide says the maximum participants, if we did that, is about 1,000. That will depend on the other program costs. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. For reference, I talked to the City of San Francisco, who has a program very similar to ours. It's what we based our program on, and they currently have 1,500 participants in their program. And how else can we help our citizens? We're going to require that everybody who goes through this program have a water use efficiency audit. We'll provide free shower heads and faucet aerators, do leak detection at their residence, give them information about our rebate programs, information about tap water quality, take it from the tap, and information about the sewer cap setting process, because we know that being able to actually reduce your water use is going to be the biggest help that we can provide. Just pointing out that if you look at an average water bill, if a customer can reduce 1,000 gallons in the summer, they're going to save almost $6 a month off their bill. If they can reduce 1,000 gallons in the winter, they're going to save over $12 on their bill. And if they reduce that summer and winter, they're going to be saving $18 a month. And that would be doubling the amount that we can help them with the fixed charges. So we're really very serious about pushing water conservation and letting people know how they can control their bill through reducing their water usage. And then what rules do we adopt? We talked about income screening, income eligibility screening, and the water use efficiency audit. We're going to require that if they are receiving assistance, that the bills be paid on time. San Francisco also requires that water use be in an acceptable range, and they define that as a gallon per person per capita per household, gallons per capita per day per household. We are not proposing that at this time. We thought since it's a pilot program, we'll look, we'll watch, we'll see if that seems like something that would be effective. But at this point, we're thinking with the income eligibility, the water use efficiency audit, and requiring that the bills be paid on time, that those would be the rules for participation. And we can't, what resources will it take? We can't run a program without staffing. And not only do we need someone to manage the program and our relationship with a partner agency, but they need to be able to enter information into the city's customer information system and interface with our CIS vendor. We're thinking of asking for a 0.5 FTE because this is a brand new program and we really don't know what it would entail. We would make that a limited term program, limited term position. And when you hear your mid-year budget update package, you'll see any positions that staff is asking for, and we hope that you'll be seeing this one as well. And then we have external partnerships. A little over a month ago, we put out a request for qualifications. It went out on the city's Planet Bids website, so it was seen by anyone that's registered with the city. We also contacted 3 or 4 of the nonprofit agencies in the city, or in the county, in the region. We wanted to work with a local organization for application screening. We got 1 response. It was from Community Action Partnership. It seems like a very responsive proposal, and we are currently working with them to draft a professional services agreement. So we're really excited about that because they are people that have the experience with application screening, and they're already dealing with a lot of the client base that we might be expecting to participate. And we have our internal partnerships as well. Just a couple months ago, you approved the Santa Rosa Cares program, and that took the existing Change for Kids program where people can round their bill up and added 2 different bill donations, one for youth scholarship for rec and parks and one for this H2O program. We do have the brochures ready. There is a website currently active. It's on the Santa Rosa City org page under residents, so people can donate to this program. And just finally, how are we going to measure success? How many people applied? Are we reaching our audience? We'll hope to be coming back to you in a year with the answers to these. Did we make the process clear and doable? Did people actually achieve water use reduction? We'll have this dollar amount that we're coming to you later in the meeting today to appropriate into the program if you approve it. Have we used it all? And if we haven't, should we be reevaluating the income cap? Is the dollar amount seem like it's appropriate? How this feedback on this screening process. So we're breaking new ground for us. We've talked to a couple other cities that run these programs. This is the only one that is exactly like this, where some go all through a nonprofit and the city staff is not involved at all. The city staff does all the screening. This is the first one that we're aware of that we've talked to that will be using a hybrid of those two. So we're in a pilot type of situation. So from here, we're telling you about the program today. We're going to be asking you later in this meeting to appropriate the cell tower lease revenue into the program. We'll come back in mid-year with the staffing addition. We're currently negotiating the professional services agreement with the nonprofit. We expect our H2O website to be active. It is prepared, it's ready to go live, so as soon as everything's appropriated and we have a program, we can roll that out. And we're working with Community Action Partnership on exactly how we're going to advertise it, and we don't want to overload them. We want to get people rolling through the program, and we're hoping that we're really going to be fully functional as soon as January. So that's pretty much it. We're here to answer questions, and we're really excited about launching this program.
Thanks, Ms. Reed. Council questions? Mr. Vice Mayor?
I really appreciate staff putting this together. I know you've worked hard on it for a long time, and looks like we got a good thing going here. Ms. Reed, would you talk a little more about how we're reaching out to people to let them know that this is available?
Okay, good. We're going to be working with our nonprofit partnership because they will have people that are already in their programs that they can say, hey, you're also eligible for this. When people call into our customer service desk and the utility billing, they'll be told about the program. We're also going to be having bill inserts, and we have a program brochure that is ready to go that we'll be having at our events. So we're going to use any means that we can find to let people know about the program.
Can I assume that if people are late on their payments, that they would be advised of this kind of program as well?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions, Council? Mr. Schwedo?
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation, Linda. A couple questions. How would we capture folks that live in an apartment complex that don't directly pay their water bill, but it's absorbed into their overall monthly payment?
This program will not adjust that. So for this program, you have to be paying your own water bill. There's no way for us to actually track water usage in a multimeter in a apartment complex with a single meter. So that's not something that this program will address.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it, it does seem like it'd be quite a challenge. Are there any other cities that have figured out a way to get it to the end user of the water?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And again, confirming the number, for a city the size of San Francisco, you said there's only 1,500 participants?
Yes.
Okay. And would you anticipate any challenges filling the temporary position? Because I know just with the economy, a limited term temporary position, 0.5, can sometimes be a challenge. Thoughts on that?
One of the options would be to take a full-time position and dedicate part of the position to this program. As we don't know yet, it might be, if we tell them whenever you're working on this program to charge to a certain charge number, we'll be tracking how much time it takes. So rolling that into some other staffing request might be an answer to that.
Great, thank you. I also just want to applaud you if you're able to partner with Community Action Partnership, because I think a lot of the populations they deal with are right in the wheelhouse of who we're trying to reach with this program. So nice job. Thank you.
Ms. Combs.
Thank you. I think part of my question was just asked, but I want to also confirm, sometimes in manufactured home parks, each residence gets a bill, but they aren't separately metered. The bill is passed. So they do have a bill, but it is not from a separately metered unit. Is that going to be handled like apartments, or is that going to be handled?
That would be apartments.
Okay.
Really, you have to have the bill in your name. You have to be paying it so that we can give
directly
you
to the water agency, as opposed to a
percentage
bill.
Off. Yes.
Okay.
Although, for both of those instances, we're very happy to work with the apartment owners and the mobile home park owners on water use efficiency. We've been actively trying to do that.
Okay, wonderful. Community Action Partners has some limitations about where some of their programs can go within the city. So I just want to confirm that this would still be a citywide program even if they were administering it.
Yes,
Okay.
this is, yeah.
And thank you. Thank you for doing this. This has been, it's been very hard to see rate increases without having a safety net. And I am very grateful that you have brought this forward to us and are moving it forward. So thank you very much. I hope we will also continue to work with the legislature to amend Prop 218 so that this can be made easier.
Absolutely, that would be the preferred fix.
Thank you so much, really. I'm very grateful to see this.
Ms. Karlstrom.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for the presentation. Thanks for your work on this, for bringing it back. It's very exciting to see us for me to see you find creative solutions. I know that we are evaluating our role as a city with respect to the Regional Climate Protection Authority and our climate action planning. On this item, I would just really hope that you're working in conjunction with the staff over there. There may be mechanisms to expand a service like this and offer it as a template, if you will, to our countywide partners. And that's it, other than to add my voice in support of outreach, direct outreach to apartment complex owners. There's a lot of untapped market there. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Wysocki.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for this presentation, Linda and David. Just following up my colleague about Community Action Partnership, they have a limited geographical area? Is that what I just heard?
So the RFQ fully described our program and what is expected of them. So one of their skills is application screening, just because some of the people that come in would only be regional, and I'm really not quite sure what their limitations are, but they were fully aware of what our requirements are. And so we're going to work with them. They are understanding of what our needs are, and that they work in a region, so they will have customers that won't qualify for our program because they're not Santa Rosa residents, and there may be Santa Rosa residents that don't qualify for some of their other programs, but it's the application screening that they'll be doing for us.
So what concerns me is that they have people they already deal with, and that'll make it easy, and I understand that it would be easy to facilitate those, but that might limit the scope. And how would we check on the fact that people outside of their area have an opportunity? Has that been considered?
So we'll be reaching out, as I said, through our customer service reps, through bill inserts, through our brochure. And if we have any feedback from an applicant that it's difficult, then that'll certainly be something that we work on with our contract with them.
I appreciate that. That will be a tough one to monitor, I would think. It wouldn't be so black and white. But the mobile home parks, the fact that there are some separate billings and the fact that they aren't in the water agency name, and we know a lot of our seniors are just scraping by in those parks, I'd like to see a little more effort made to try and expand this to them. I don't have an answer. I wish I did.
Right. So the only thing that we can think of at this point is working with them on conservation, but we'll certainly keep our ears open for more creative ideas.
If their usage is already down, divided by what, say, however, mobile home parks, why would that preclude them park-wide from benefiting to? Can't we take an average in the park and call that appropriate?
As I said, this is a pilot program, so if at the end of this year it looks like we still have funds available and we want to reach out, it's something we can look at.
Okay, that's fine. I would like that considered when you evaluate this, that these folks got excluded through no fault of their own just because of the mechanism of the billing. That's my concern. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Oh, sure.
I'm sorry, I want to
Ms. Combs.
follow up with something. I heard you just say Santa Rosa residents, and it occurred to me that we have a number of island folks who are on Santa Rosa water. Are we talking about only Santa Rosa residents?
Any Santa Rosa customer.
Customer, okay, thank you.
Any further questions, Council? Great, thank you very much. It's a really important program. I know that we felt, as did you, that your hands were kind of tied in being able to offer assistance. And this is a good, as best as we can do, it's a good opportunity, a great opportunity, and we're very pleased to be able to do it. Thank you for your hard work on this. Appreciate you both. Nope, no cards on the item. So welcome to the regular November, to this nice music, the regular November 17th meeting of the Santa Rosa City Council. Madam Clerk, could you announce the roll, please?
Let the record reflect that all council members are present.
Thank you. And Mr. McGlynn, could you report on the study session, please?
We just reviewed the H2O program.
Thank you. And I will report on the closed session. The council met to discuss a performance evaluation for the public employee, and there's nothing to report out at this time. We have no present proclamations or presentations. We have, let's see, staff briefings, none. City manager's report.
So yes, you ready, Nancy? I just want to note that the League of American Bicyclists designated the city of Santa Rosa as a bicycle-friendly community at the bronze level. This decision involved review of our application and consultation with local cyclists. The city received a report card which profiles our bicycle-friendly statistics based on the League's review of our application. The award is presented only to communities with strong commitments to bicycling. Our designation is valid for 4 years. We received a bicycle-friendly community road sign and an award certificate. So, this is the...
Yeah.
Now we have to decide where to put the sign?
Yeah, that's...
These signs are always a lot bigger when you get them in your hands.
The Santa Rosa Police Department and the Santa Rosa Junior College District Police Department will host Coffee with a Cop on the JC campus tomorrow, Wednesday, November 18th, in the Bertolini Student Center. The event is specifically to reach out to young adults in the community who may have questions about the police. This will be the 4th Coffee with a Cop event hosted throughout the city. And the others were on Fulton, at the Yolanda McDonald's, and at Acre Coffee. Last Thursday, Santa Rosa water staff welcomed the Beijing Drainage Group, that's what it says, to a tour and technical presentation of the Laguna wastewater treatment plant. The group, part of a large municipality in Beijing that operates 8 wastewater treatment plants, is in the process of building 4 new wastewater treatment facilities by 2017. The visitors included wastewater treatment engineers, technical experts, and managers, all interested in learning about Santa Rosa Water's process improvements and successes in the areas of planning, budgeting, operations, resource recovery, beneficial reuse, and energy management. The day was a valuable learning opportunity, and the Beijing Drainage Group was very impressed by their visit to the city of Santa Rosa and the facility.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Madam City Attorney, anything to report?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I did attend a webinar today from the League of California Cities regarding new bills that were passed, and I'll be bringing forward information. There's a number of bills that are going to require us to take action in various items. I did want to mention, since we just talked about the low-income assistance, that there is a bill directing the state water agency to look at low-income programs and a source for funding that, as well as You've heard from staff that there's actions to try to amend the Constitution to deal with some of the Prop 218 issues. Later this week, I'm also going to be attending a webinar on the comprehensive medical marijuana reforms that were just passed through a series of bills, and that will require us to do some changes to our ordinance to deal with certain aspects that we don't deal with currently in terms of cultivation, other types of businesses. And I'll have more information for you on December 1st, and at that point I may be suggesting that you reformulate your medical marijuana subcommittee to provide some guidance in terms of drafting the necessary ordinances that'll need to come forward.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any abstentions to report this evening, Council? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to reports of council members. Anyone have anything to report this evening? Sure. Go ahead, Mr. Schwedo.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I just want to give a water supply update. I know some of the folks up here got it, but just for the community, Lake Sonoma, our major source of drinking water, currently at 68% of capacity, and Lake Mendocino is at 57% of the target water supply storage curve. Again, it's a little bit more complicated when it comes to Lake Mendocino versus Lake Sonoma. Also, our community did another great job in October compared to 2013. We reduced our water use by 21%, and again, the state mandated percentage is 20%, so it's again another wonderful job. And I wish I had more information about this, but on Friday there's a free rainwater harvesting workshop. If you're interested in learning more about that opportunity, you can go to the city's website at srcity.org/WUE. And you want to just go know what I did?
Sure.
While I'm here, so last week was a rather busy week. We obviously had Veterans Day the day after last week's council meeting. I attended with some others the Veterans Day tribute here in City Hall. Then I went to a unique event at the Veterans Building called a Homeless Rockstar event, where a group of individuals headquartered in Reading came down here and provided some opportunity for some homeless population folks to come through and actually get their photographs taken by a rock star photographer. In addition to that, there are some community leaders, including our fire chief, had an opportunity to actually interview them and get to know them a little bit better. So it's something that United Way brought to this community, and we're hoping next year we could do it and expand it a little bit more. 70 homeless people were able to enjoy those benefits. After that event, we had I went to a 10,000 Degrees career fair for local high school youth, so it was very well attended. And then last Thursday, I was able to listen to the mayor, chairman of the Board of Supervisors, and a Lake County Board of Supervisors at Wake Up Santa Rosa give us a State of the Unions event, which again, it was very well attended and learned a lot of information. Monday night, I had the opportunity at the invitation of Jeff Gilman to visit one of the pneumatic shelters, that Monday evening's pneumatic shelter, which is out off of Pacific Avenue for that evening. And just a very well-run, I don't want to call it an event, but it was very, very well run, the way they brought the people there, fed them, and actually provided them the shelter. So it was a firsthand experience versus hearing people just experience that. So I'd really encourage you, if Jeff extends that invitation to anyone else up here, which he told me he would do it, take advantage of it, because it really, to see how it actually is operated was very helpful for me. Also on Monday, Roseland University Prep had their career fair. Spend most of the day talking to high school youth who are attending Roseland University Prep, which is always rather energizing to talk about different career opportunities in this community. And then lastly, earlier today, I was able to visit Camp Michaela just to see the status of that. As many of you know, they're moving their location. But I did want to compliment the mayor, and I'm sure you're going to be sharing that you paid a visit there, and one of your donations they shared with me specifically. Make sure you thank the mayor, because it was put to great use for the individual that benefited from your donation. So I really appreciate you taking that time.
Thanks for mentioning it. Ms. Combs.
I had the good fortune of attending a third grade class at our Santa Rosa Charter School. That's the school that's currently at the fairgrounds. The third grade was doing a segment on government, and so I represented the local government. I was impressed with how much those students knew, including that we had 7 council members. So that was really impressive to me, because I talked to a lot of adults going during the election cycle, and quite a few of them assume we have 5 like other cities do. So nice job from those students. Shout out to them. Attended Veterans Day ceremonies here at 11, and also attended a homeless issues meeting at the West End neighborhood. Very interesting, trying to work on security-related issues, the impact on the West End of having homeless services impact there. I attended a joint annexation subcommittee briefing and will leave the announcements about that process to after the formal meeting occurs. But wanted to thank the mayor also because I've heard a lot about your donation to the camp. So news travels fast. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other reports, council? Sure, Mr. Vice Mayor.
I just wanted to mention that the formal dedication of the Roseland branch of the Sonoma County Library was Saturday. A really nice event for a facility that's long been needed in that neighborhood. It's a great little library. This is a collaboration with the Sonoma County Library and the Library Foundation and the county's Community Development Commission that I believe owns that property. One thing to keep in mind for our staff is that it's got a very large meeting room as part of it that's being used by the Boys and Girls Club, but makes a great meeting room for that community.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that because it was very well attended, lots of very excited people, and it's great to have the facility in Roseland. And they're still fundraising, so keep them in mind. And while I was there, someone had mentioned that I might want to drop by Camp Michaela because I was curious, you know, and I know that it's on the horizon to be moving soon, and I wanted to take a look myself. And it was very impressive, actually. The spirit, it was very quiet. It was very organized. The individuals were, it was neat and clean, and it just was tense behind in an enclosed area. So it was a really good example of what can happen with well-organized endeavors. And the numbers seem to be good. The 20 to 25, that seemed to be a manageable number. So we're learning a lot. They're learning, and we're learning a lot about how to move forward carefully and thoughtfully in dealing with our homeless population. What happened at the as I was about ready to leave, and Ms. Eppel said, we were talking about just like parting words, and I was saying goodbye, and she said, you know what we really need, because we have a gentleman that's on is it BPAP? CPAP machine, and I'm not even sure exactly. I think it's a breathing apparatus. We needed right now, what he was doing was attaching, it runs on electricity, of course. So he was charging a car battery with his car and then using that car battery, which only would last a few hours, to operate this CPAP machine. And she said, well, he could really use a little generator. And I thought, oh, I've got this little Honda generator that's been waiting for an earthquake in my garage. And it's been sitting there for about 10 years. And I said, I may have a little generator that I can donate. And I went home and I started it up and took it right back and took a little bit of stress away from this gentleman. And I started to tell him how to operate it, and he said, well, I'm an electrical engineer. I don't think you won't need to tutor me in this area. And I even had the manual, and he probably wrote it. So he was very, very thankful, and it was a small gesture, but I'm, hopeful that it's, that it is something that, it certainly was just collecting dust in my garage, and I was very pleased to offer it, and that way, it made a much more safe environment for him, and he deserved the help. And I want to thank the city staff who put together a 20-minute culmination of the city's current endeavors and their future endeavors moving into our next year. It was it's not easy to put together that much information. They did it very, very well. They did it in a way that I could convey it to a group of people. An incredible amount of information that needed to be conveyed in a fairly short period of time. It was very well done. I know that a lot of people touched the document, and Suzanne Shepard put it together for me. So whomever's out there listening from our city organization, thank you for making me look good in front of this group of people when I knew virtually very little about some of the details I was talking about. David Gewen's department, the water department, which always amazes me with their vast amount of detail and information. I learned a lot that morning, and the day before when I was looking at this information, this short speech, 20 minutes long, I didn't realize some of the endeavors you guys were doing out there at Santa Rosa Water. So all the people that were involved in putting that information together, I'm very thankful for. It turned out well, and I know it was well received by those that were in attendance.
I'm sorry, Mayor, did you say 20 minutes?
That was what was stated. I didn't really look at my clock.
Thank you. Okay.
Was it?
Just so I'm clear on that, thank you.
Did I go over, or was? But I just know that. Thank you all. Moving on. So if there's no other reports, we're moving on. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Wysocki.
No worries. Real quick, also attended the Veterans Day memorial on the 11th minute of the 11th hour of the 11th year. No. 11th minute of the 11th hour of the 11th month, when the guns fell silent, and they really enjoy your presence out there, the veterans that have sacrificed for our country. Also on Friday, attended a Sonoma Growers Alliance regional conference regarding the new legislation from Assemblyman Wood and Senator McGuire, and I've asked for draft ordinance language, which I will forward when I receive, so we can be in compliance should we decide to go down that public policy route.
Thank you. Anything else to report, Council? All right, moving on to 10.5.1, election of the Vice Mayor. Madam City Clerk, how do we proceed?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll briefly outline the process. This is the same process the Council will recall that you added to your manual of procedures and protocols for the election of mayor this past September. So the way it works is the mayor will call for nominations from the floor. Nominations must receive a second and be accepted by the nominee prior to a vote. If only one council member is nominated, the mayor will declare that person to be elected vice mayor by unanimous consent. If two or more council members are nominated, the election of the vice mayor will be by a process of elimination. We provided in your folders for each of you 3 ballots to use for this purpose. So for example, if 3 council members are nominated for vice mayor, the first round of voting, you will vote for 1 less than the total number of nominees. So you'll vote for 2 people. If no single person is eliminated by receiving 1 or less votes, you move on to the next round of voting, which is for 1 council member. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The first person that receives 4 votes, the first single council member that receives 4 votes is elected as vice mayor.
Thank you. So at this time, I'll accept nominations from...
And I'll just mention as well that I will be taking the roll call vote alphabetically for each round of voting.
Verbally?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So at this point, I'll accept nominations. Mr. Olivares.
Thank you, Mayor. I nominate Councilmember Schwedhelm as our vice mayor.
And I would need a second.
Second.
Thank you. And Mr. Schwedhelm, would you be willing to serve in that capacity?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Thank you. Entertain any other nominations at this time? Ms. Combs? I'm sorry, Mr. Wysocki.
I'd like to nominate Councilmember Combs for vice mayor.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. And Ms. Combs, would you be willing to serve? Yes. Thank you. Any other nominations, council? Seeing none, we'll close the nominations. And so this will just be a...
So each council member will vote for 1 nominee.
Okay.
And then when you're ready, I'll do a roll call vote.
And you will conduct the roll call?
Yes. Are we ready? Okay. So doing this alphabetically, Councilmember Carlstrom,
I just want to know where your hat is,
it's up in my office.
Mr. Schwedhelm.
Councilmember Combs,
Combs?
Vice Mayor Corsi,
Combs.
Councilmember Oliveris,
Schwedhelm.
Mayor Sawyer,
Schwedhelm?
Councilmember Schwedhelm,
Schwedhelm.
and Councilmember Wysocki.
Combs.
That's 4 votes for Councilmember Schwedhelm.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Congratulations, Vice Mayor Schwedhelm. I have some words that I'd like to, some thanks. It was a little less than a year ago in this chamber, we had an election for mayor and vice mayor. And that evening, with the help of the council and former Vice Mayor Corsi's willingness to serve, we provided this council, and I think the city of Santa Rosa, with the help of the council itself and Vice Mayor Corsi, some stability and respectability that it had not shared for some time in general. And I wanted to personally thank former Vice Mayor Corsi for his thoughtfulness and his easy style, visibility in the community, and your humor, dedication to your role, and being out there and taking care of business and understanding what it takes to be vice mayor. And your performance was very highly appreciated by me personally. And I know that I speak for the entire council when I thank you for your service. And I know that Vice Mayor Schwedhelm will look similarly at his role and keep on that tradition of that stability and respectability that we have been able to enjoy for the last year. And it's been very important as we move forward as a body. So my personal thanks to you.
Thank you for those kind words, Mr. Mayor. It's been my pleasure to serve, and I'm not going away.
Excellent. Any other comments, council? Vice Mayor.
That sounds weird. I just want to thank Councilmember Corsi also, because I am hoping to model many of the behaviors and performance you did. And I think you presided over one meeting in Mayor Sawyer's absence, and I just want to recognize for your flawless delivery of that meeting. So thank you very much. And I'm planning on meeting with you after this to learn some of the ways that I can be the most effective vice mayor. So thank you for your service.
Outstanding. Okay, thank you, council. Moving on to the approval of minutes, we have none to approve this evening. Moving on to consent, Mr. McGlynn.
So on consent, I'm going to be asking for we're requesting item 12.2 be, what's the word I'm looking for? Dropped. Well, continued would mean we would have a date certain, but we are going to bring that item back, but for right now, we're not going to ask for the council to move on 12.2. So we're just going to reference 12.1. 12.1, resolution, appropriation of funding for H2O, Help to Others Water Rate Assistance Program.
Council, questions on 12.1? Seeing none. Mr. Corsi, would you like to move these consent items?
Move item 12.1 and waive further reading of the text.
Second.
Thank you. And your votes, council? And I have 7 ayes. Thank you very much. Moving on to public opinion.
It's not 5 o'clock yet.
Oh my. So we'll take a recess for
We
this
have-
week. Oh, we do have. Oh, excellent. Yeah. We can do the report item 14.1.
Item 14.1, report, new classification for the Sonoma County Public Safety Consortium Administrator. Rhonda McKinnon, Police Technical Services Division Manager, presenting.
Welcome. Oh, there you go.
Good afternoon, Mayor Sar and council members. So I'm looking for the PowerPoint. And, I just want to see if you'd run over. I got it. I'm going to miss you, Terry. All right, so I'm presenting to you today about we would like to add a classification of JPA administrator, and it's for the Sonoma County Public Safety Consortium. So I did create quite a bit of a long staff report for you, and if you didn't have the opportunity to read it, this is a quick synopsis of what it is. But the consortium was formed in 2008, and that is the cities in the county that participate in sharing a CAD, the dispatch system, the mobile computer system in the police cars, and an iLeads or records management system. So most of the cities in the county share this system, and with that comes the management of that system. So currently there's 8 cities that are participating, and we all volunteer staff time to make this system actually work. So there's a lot of management that comes with this, all these software programs, upgrades, training, and replacement. So the way it's managed right now, besides the volunteer time for staff, is there's one person that works about half-time, and typically that person has been a retired person that's been in law enforcement that manages the meetings. There's 2 meetings that happen on a regular basis, and that's the oversight meeting, and that's a Brown Act board, and then there's also the city managers or the actual board that is the ultimate authority for the consortium, and the city managers participate on that. As we've gone through since 2008, the system has grown and grown, the costs have grown, and it's become more and more complicated. Our goal in the consortium is to offer the services that the system provides to other cities. And right now, it's a little bit difficult for us to offer those services and give them a very comprehensive or understandable way in which to charge for these services. When we hire, what we're proposing is to hire, actually we've proposed it and it's been approved by the board, to hire a full-time person that can start putting together the methodologies so that we can charge for the services and we can recoup some of the costs for the system. So what this means is the position, as it's become more complicated, we've decided that it needs to have its own classification. The city has a little bit more flexibility in creating a classification for this position. The county doesn't have as much flexibility, so what they do is they use existing classifications and then they add in some language that describes what the job would be serving the consortium. Currently, they have 2 backgrounds going on in progress to hire the position, and they'd be paid for out of the city or out of the CMO. No. Veronica.
County Administrator's Office.
Thank you. That's what I meant to say. So the position would be hired out of the county, and the position is fully funded by the consortium. So we're asking for a position to be added into the city's classifications, and the position will be fully funded by the consortium. If the county doesn't have a viable candidate, then the city will be in a position, if approved, to hire this position with the city. So I'm trying to take a very complicated topic and break it down into some manageable little bites.
So I think what's transpiring here is that there's a need for a position at this particular JPA to manage the JPA and direct the activities of the JPA and bring the county into a unified way of doing business around this particular endeavor. The challenge is that the way it is currently structured is it works through the hiring process at the county, which means that is a list-driven process, meaning we're not recruiting for the actual needs of the position. We're trying to work through a process that identifies a viable position, refers to a list, and so while we are looking to fill the position, the challenge becomes that we're not actually recruiting discretely for that position that is under analysis. And the challenge has been to date is that we have not, there have been some challenges about who's being recruited, how that's being recruited, because we're not recruiting for the position. Bringing this under the city's fold would allow us to actually recruit for this position and the needs that are driving this position. The position is funded through the JPA, through our requirements in the JPA, and so what it would do is it would, again, the language in the JPA allows either the city or the county to take that leadership role in employing that particular person. So the cost is simply doing business as the JPA. The question is, are we going to recruit from a list of potential candidates, or are we going to recruit for the needs of the position? So if we go through the city process, we will actually be able to recruit for the needs of the position, not utilize an existing list. To get a similar position classified within the structure of the county government would take 1.5 years to get that job classification stated. So that is one of the big challenges we face when we're trying to staff this position, and this would give us an ability to address those long-standing issues and actually recruit for the needs of the position.
Mr. Wysocki, you have a question.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the detailed explanation. So the gist of it is this position is a city employee position and reimbursed fully by the JPA.
Correct.
Who does the computation of the total cost of the position?
That's done through the JPA, and one of the challenges has been, quite frankly, is we are in a cost allocation methodology, and we need someone on board who can actually do those cost allocation methodologies and report out to the entire governing board about actual costs. So one of the issues has been to date sort of getting complete, I'll be honest, getting complete information out of the position and complete information to help the governing board actually run the JPA. And
I understand that. Yeah. I think you misconstrued my question. Let's just say that the salary of this position is $100,000. We're getting reimbursed that plus the benefits?
Correct.
All benefits?
Correct.
Even if the burden rate is under-accrued? Well, right now we have an under-accrued pension liability. That's what I'm concerned with. Is this adding another employee to that benefit?
Yes, it is, but we're accruing the costs against that particular expenditure.
Right. Thank you.
Other questions, council, before? Oh, sure, Mr. Schwedo. Vice Mayor Schwedo.
Were you guys done with your presentation? Okay, so I just want to thank you. Having gone through the recruitment for a JP administrator, I recognize the challenges, so I really appreciate the fact you've taken the time and effort to try to resolve this very important position. So I just want to say thank you.
Any other questions, council? Seeing none, we'll move. I do have one item on one card on this item. I'll move to public comment. Ms. Fernald.
Good afternoon. Colleen Fernald. I am from Sebastopol, and I am still dedicated to making sure the least amount of corruption transpires by this city, by your law enforcement, by the county. And unfortunately, I've had way too much experience in directly being affected by this criminal mismanagement. I came from the Board of Supervisors just before this, where the SEIU union was having a very vocal presentation about this criminal mass management of the county. And I've seen so much money wasted by this city, by the county. So when I see this salary, $79,000 to $104,000 for this position, I cringe. And my suggestion is you make it more like $60,000 to $80,000, and especially if you're going to have someone serve in this position who is retired and they already have a pension, there's no reason to double dip. But my problems about this, about coordinating cities, law enforcement, and the counties, is that how severely it has not worked, and why public oversight and participation means to be present every step along the way. I've seen money wasted with different computer programs that cost so much and proprietary. And then when it comes to trying to get crime solved, when I'm giving evidence to the city of Sebastopol as well as the city of Santa Rosa and the county, and there's no coordination of this. And I'm concerned if this information is shared with these bodies and there is no other kind of oversight at the misuse and censorship and disappearance of evidence and information within branches of law enforcement here. So where does the public get to have any certainty that this isn't just full-fledged organized crime running all the time? Because the times that I've had to call this city for service and have actually been helped is in the minimum. And the times when I needed help, vital help, and my daughter needed help, and she's now dead, and we have no oversight body probing the facts in that case. Well, when I called your dispatch and they got that information, where is that? Where's that data? Where can the public have access to when your dispatch has failed because of the obstruction of justice? And you know firsthand at how Sebastopol law enforcement and Santa Rosa's have participated in collusion and obstruction of justice.
Those are all the cards I have on this item. Bringing it back to council. Any further questions, council? Seeing none. Mr. Olivares.
Thank you, Mayor. I move the resolution of the Council of the City of Santa Rosa amending the city classification and salary plan to create the classification of Sonoma County Public Safety Consortium Administrator in Unit 11, Supervisor Mid-Management, with a salary range of $79,478 to $104,948 annually, and authorizing the addition of one FTE to the city manager's office, and waive further reading of the text.
Thank you. And a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. And your votes, council? And I have 7 ayes. Thank you very much. We have no public hearings. You want to cover written communications, Mr. McGlynn?
Yes, item 16.1, memorandum regarding appointment to the Marin, Sonoma, Mosquito, and Vector Control District provided for information. Item 16.2, annual reports for special tax districts for tax year 2015-16 provided for information.
Thank you very much. We will need to wait until 5 o'clock for our public appearances section of the meetings. Will be adjourned for, or recess for 8 minutes. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, I am reconvening the meeting. Thank you. And our first speaker this evening for this part of the meeting is Mr. Chernoff.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I don't often come down here, but I like to look into your eyeballs once in a while. So I'm going to start off with bloodsuckers. And I'm not talking about lawyers. I brought this up to you a year ago. And I believe that, in fact, I'm rather certain that this has to do with a federal project in conjunction with Jerry Brown's Agenda 21 to harm and terminate disabled seniors. As you may or may not know, Plum Island, they did a lot of experiments with poisons, drugs, diseases, and they were the ones that were behind, and according to Jesse Ventura and a whole lot of other people, they let loose tens of thousands of Lyme-infested ticks throughout the mountain areas on both coasts decades ago, so we have Lyme disease everywhere. They're also doing such things with bed bugs, and Silvercrest is still infested with bed bugs. This manager over there named Trish has a staff, and the people that complain about it, this staff supports her, and they say things about somebody, and they kick them out because she has the staff agreeing with her. I've heard this from several people within that complex and from without that complex. And you either have bed bugs or you don't. It's like being pregnant. You either are or you're not. And these are blood-sucking, blood-poisoning, dangerous situation that is not being squared away. It is elder abuse, and it is being permitted continually, obviously, by on some level. The city, the Press Democrat refuses to write about it. And I don't know who the health people are, but perhaps they're just in bed with, pun intended, with the bedbug program to poison seniors and have a quick coronary rate out of that place, I don't know, to make more money or something. All I know is it's going on, it's not nice, and it should be squared away, and it needs to be done professionally. And that this manager, Trish, is not speaking the truth when they say that they are taking care of the problem. It's been a year. And it's been going on there for almost 20 years. Okay, to the veterans listening today, I, Commander Alexander, am speaking to you. Bo Greitz, the most highly decorated Green Beret of all time, made a statement about taking one last hill, and that's Capitol Hill. On November 24th, you are ordered to appear at the West Oakland BART for an 11 a.m. start, for the biggest party we've ever seen, and as all the warriors, be they veterans, students, or labor, being lean, mean, and green, and we will shut down the West Coast until these banker-owned D.C. clowns are toast, and we free Brother Leonard Peltier, we free the 40,000 migrants that are sitting in detention centers, we free ourselves and the U.S. Constitution. This is so good. John likes this so much, he's ready to give me a whole nother minute. That's the command, and it is now time to meet on the port for the 40-day shutdown, 11 a.m. on the 24th. Thank you.
Madam City Clerk, if you could get the overhead operating for me, thank you.
Colleen Fernald, again from Sebastopol. Last Tuesday at the Board of Supervisors, I was a little bit late, unfortunately. They did their proclamations later and their consent calendar first. And one of the items on the consent calendar, you had some of your representatives from your law enforcement there. And it had to do with change for victims of sexual assault being entitled to HIV testing. Well, I'm glad something's being done, but it's not enough, because my rapist is free and walking around in this county. And I don't have his HIV test. I didn't have him going before the judge and jury. I didn't have my daughter to be able to get up on the stand and honestly describe what happened the night he raped me. Do we have a policy change so that when you tell the facts of sexual assault to your doctor, you don't rely on her remembering what you said? They go and get a tape recorder no matter what violence has been committed, if you are telling a doctor, you need an accurate record of what's said, particularly in sexual assault cases where it's your ex-husband and the complications and parenting a child under those circumstances and everyone's needs, physical and emotional, being addressed. You haven't rectified any of this, let alone letting victims of sexual assault have the benefit of a polygraph. You know, the same one that law enforcement can't get a job unless they pass. So in the investigative stages, if your investigator's crooked, if your investigator's inept, you have something else to tell the truth about what happened. So because you have not done your job to honor your oath of office to support and defend the Constitution and get back to Congress declaring war, changing our foreign policy in the world, there's been another attack in another country. People are describing it as France's 9/11, but what is the truth that we know about it? Other than the president of France said, revenge. So what if I said, I want revenge against my rapist? Not justice, revenge. And everyone who helped that criminal still be on the streets now, and all the other crimes he's committed, and the law enforcement, judges, CPS, everyone else who had a hand in covering that up. What if I said, I want revenge? You'd have them after me, wouldn't you? But somehow it's okay, whether it's us in 9/11, to have an unended World War III with money we don't have that you're suffering from as well, in every city across the country. So if you were united through your associations and alliances, you could be redressing the federal government for the grievances of they have violated their oath of office. And we'd have a different outcome in every country around the world.
Jim Bray.
No one has the right to strike first, not at home, not abroad. Make it a law.
Followed by Dwayne DeWitt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, council members. I'm here to speak about the old courthouse square reunification. The more I read about this project and the proposal that's before the council, and I might add, all of our community, the more questions emerge about whether the plan and process is being dictated perhaps just by a small group of people here in Santa Rosa. In 2007, as you all know, the citizens of Santa Rosa, and I was one of many people, spent numerous meetings and several years and many dollars coming up with a plan that was approved by your predecessors who sat right here. However, as we all know, due to financial concerns, the City Council wisely put the project on hold. To the best of my knowledge, they did not cancel the project, nor did they attempt to borrow the funds to build the approved design. Now, rather than dusting off the original plan, a small group has somehow convinced the City Council it has a better idea than all the citizens had in 2007. It certainly feels to this concerned citizen that the City Council is rushing to make a decision that is contrary to what the citizens agreed to in 2007. And since when has the city started borrowing $10 million for projects like this? Perhaps we could borrow $10 million to fix our streets or to keep our libraries open. What's to stop us from doing that? What happened to financing this project through a bond that will let the citizens decide how to spend our precious tax dollars? In closing, I ask all the council members to take another walk around the city square and ask yourself, do we really want to exchange our heritage redwoods, which have been there for over 45 years, for a few parking spaces? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Bray. Dwayne DeWitt. Dwayne will be followed by David Reed.
Hello, my name is Dwayne DeWitt, and I'm from Roseland, and I came to thank you folks. It was a wonderful Veterans Day because so many of you were there. Matter of fact, everybody, you were there in spirit, sir. So, what's really nice is that it was a good day, it was a good occasion, and you folks paid attention to veterans and their needs right then and there. I also want to thank the fire department because the day before I'd been at the junior college and been talking with them about how the flag wasn't up. And it was saddening to me because one of my junior college friends had served in Iraq and has since lost his life, and we had talked about the flag being there. So lo and behold, the city stepped in and got the flag up. So I want to thank the fire department too, because if it had just been left to the bureaucracy, it could have waited until maybe next year. But instead, Santa Rosa Fire Department got it up. A lovely day was had by everyone. So I'm just going to leave you with thanks. And I'm going to leave with 2 minutes left. I'll surprise you, won't it?
And thank
All the
you.
best to you. Bye.
David Reed.
Good evening. I love this county. I've lived here since 1980, and I built a building that was about 10 years ago and then got embroiled in a long lawsuit. I'm the gentleman that started in trial a year ago where the original intent was to have a 4-week trial and it turned into a 4-month circus. Anyway, the saga still goes on, and thanks to Santa Rosa's Superior Court Judge Nancy Case Schaefer. Can I have this?
Yep, it's almost there.
Thank you. I just happened to get online today because I was just sensing frustration trying to get through the process here. And why would I really say anything? I mean, I was convicted, and I've gone through the similar process where I was representing myself in pro per. And ultimately, what I've come to find out is that she does have a prejudice to people that represent themselves. Think about some of the judgments that are coming out of there. I was getting sued. Cordozas claimed they had $632,000 in a real estate deal where that was their damages. Well, the jury awarded $6.3 million. So how did this happen? Well, there's jury instructions, there's all kinds of tampering, there's attorneys in there that seem to say they're officers of the court, but in the court now, these gentlemen put on a cloak, and it seems to be that there's a cloak of lies. Anyway, think about the quantity of the judgment. Somebody gets mowed down, $10 million. Somebody dies, $8 million. I ended up in a punitive damage stage where I had less than $1 million worth of assets left. All the money's been absorbed through 3055 Cleveland Avenue. I ended up with an $18.3 million judgment. So anyway, this is our town, and all I want to do is encourage people to go ahead and sign this petition, because no one is safe here with Judge Schaefer, and I'd really like to say, sign the petition. Let's try and clean up this courtroom and let it stop being run like an abortion clinic. I've had my finances completely destroyed. I've had my relationships destroyed. This building here, we may as well have billboard signs down the freeway saying, "Welcome to Santa Rosa. This is the most litigious county in the country." Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Those are all the cards I have for this evening. We are adjourned.
You still texting?
Is this a real morgue?
Yep.
Shut up. Like with real dead people. Ooh, I gotta text Ashley.
Ashley identified you when you wrapped your car around that light pole, because you was caring more about that thing than the road.
I knew she liked me.
Not anymore.
No text message is worth a life.